right now on 5 on your side at 10.
And we start tonight in a weather alert. A burst of snow is falling over St. Louis tonight as we continue to deal with dangerously cold temperatures. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. The snow is blowing across area interstates, but our storm tracker is out right now on the side streets in Brentwood, which are snow covered.
Let's get straight over to Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with the latest on this, Scott.
Well, you know, the snow is wrapping up around St. Louis right now. We're going to see flurries continuing throughout the overnight hours for sure, at least for the next several hours. But most of the accumulating snow has shifted east and southeast of St. Louis at this point, and it has left some problems on some of the roads. Here's a look out into St. Charles right now. Traffic's been generally light. Of course, today was MLK Jr. Day, and so it was a holiday. But traffic generally has been light tonight, and it's moving along the interstates fairly well, even though this light, fluffy snow managed to stick very quickly. Where there's been traffic, it's tended to be blown off the road, and that's the interstates. But your side roads like this in Florissant are still pretty snow covered. Same holds true as we go out to Main Street in St. Charles. We have lots of covered roads right now, and there are school closings, largely due to the heat. Traffic conditions across the region, partly to mostly covered roads around all of Metro St. Louis at this hour. And really that extends into the Metro East, down across southeast Missouri, and of course, back through parts of the Ozarks and in western Missouri as well. Not much on the radar screen around St. Louis at the moment. Here's a broader perspective. The bands of snow sliding away from St. Louis at this hour. There are flurries, though, still lingering back to the west, and the cold air hasn't gone anywhere. 7 degrees, our current temperature, and this hour, Lambert reports a snowfall total of 1.1 inches total for this storm. Pittsfield feels like it's 12 below, 8 below in Chesterfield. The wind chill advisory, the wind chill warnings, they remain in effect for the St. Louis area. The warning north and west of town for wind chills as low as 25 to 30 below zero tomorrow morning. In the metro, more like 15 to 20 below zero. That's dangerously cold. 30 seconds, exposed skin can get frostbite. We'll see you with some good news on a bit of a warm up in a few minutes and some more bad news about the next Arctic break.
And Scott, as you mentioned, secondary roads are causing the most issues right now. We want to go out to our Weather First storm tracker. They are on the roads in Brentwood right now. Our photojournalist Don Galloway giving us this shot of South Brentwood. As you can see, it is snow covered, and you need to be careful on roads like this because they can be icy. For the most part, area highways are in better shape. As you can see on the left side of your screen, showing I-70 near Zumble in St. Charles. And then take a look at 141 near Ladue Road. That is on the right. Both MoDOT and IDOT have crews out right now. We're told they'll be out throughout the night and morning until major roads are mostly clear. Remember, you can get the latest Weather First forecast right to your phone. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355.
And nearly 250 schools have already made the call to either cancel classes, start late, or switch to remote learning tomorrow. This is mostly because of the dangerous cold. The list includes several large school districts like St. Louis Public Schools, Rockwood, Fort Zumwalt, and Hazelwood. And of course, you can find all of the closings at the bottom of your screen and at ksdk.com.
Crews will resume their search in the morning for a man missing after a North City house fire.
It is just one of several house fires that kept St. Louis firefighters on the move in the dangerous cold. And tonight, they're sounding the alarm. 5 on your side's Robert Townsend has the warning about heating your home this winter.
On a frigid single-digit day, these St. Louis firefighters had a tough fight on their hands. From a pumper truck and high atop a ladder, they poured non-stop water on a raging fire at this 2-story brick duplex on Athlone Avenue in North St. Louis.
Here we had a heavy fire, just a heavy volume of fire and smoke showing on the first floor. We had initial report that there were persons trapped.
Investigators say 3 people lived in the unit where the flames started in the kitchen area. An elderly woman got out safely. The second person wasn't home at the time. And as of Monday, a man still unaccounted for.
In the time that we were able to get inside and advance and do a search, we were unable to locate anyone.
Right now, firefighters still don't know what caused this fire here on Athlone Avenue. Now, when it comes to heating your home this winter, they are stressing to keep safety in mind. Foremost, never leave your oven on to heat your home. As for space heaters,
Please use the manufacturer's instructions, right? Plug it directly into the wall. Don't use an extension cord. Keep it at least 3 feet away from anything that can burn.
of course, make sure you have working batteries in your smoke alarm.
What it's going to do, though, is give you that advance warning to get out.
Meantime, fearless firefighters who saw water from their hoses freeze on fences, bushes, their trucks, and even their helmets wore lots of layers and extra gloves on this dangerously cold day. This house fire was this team's third one and counting.
A lot of the firefighters fighting this fire been around for a long time. It's an adapt and overcome profession. So regardless of what it is, we're going to meet the challenge and overcome it.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Firefighters do not believe the person who lives in the other unit was home at the time of the fire.
Cleanup is underway at the St. Louis County Justice Center in Clayton after the frigid temperatures caused a pipe to burst. Officials tell 5 on your side water from a broken pipe on the 9th floor made it all the way down to the 3rd floor. Cleaning crews were brought in last night. We're told jail operations were not affected and no inmates had to be relocated. The cost of the damage is unclear.
Animal shelters on both sides of the river are seeing a lot of new faces over the last few days due to the cold temperatures, and now they're urgently needing your help. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski talked to 2 groups who want to get these animals into a warm home.
Kelly, the shelters I spoke with are in desperate need of people to foster dogs and are also in need of donations because so many of the animals coming in off the street have medical issues. Gateway Pet Guardians in East St. Louis says over the last week they've had 50 dogs come in out of the cold, all while their shelter reached capacity weeks ago.
We've been asking the community to step in and help us by fostering, and when you open doors at homes, we're able to continue bringing in those emergency cases.
We helped volunteer Andrea Zerbruggen bring in one of those emergency cases that residents say has been out on the street for a while.
We need to get you inside, honey. That's a sweet baby.
She even let us in on the naming process, and we decided to call him Yeti to go with the cold weather theme. With the influx of animals, they also need more than just foster homes.
As you saw, Yeti today is clearly going to need some medical care, but we also need some supplies. So with a bunch of new foster homes, we provide those supplies to fosters, things like medium to large size wire crates, leashes, large and medium martingale collars.
On the other side of the river, Care STL also had about 50 cats and dogs brought in as temperatures plummeted, including this puppy named Scrappy, who was found in the backyard of a vacant home.
A few come in that have medical conditions or that are very thin. Particularly conditions that affect the hair coat right now are dangerous because that's another way that they help keep themselves warm in the winter.
Care STL Executive Director and veterinarian Abby Atterbury says she wants all pet owners to keep these tips in mind when it gets this cold.
Short walks, indoors as much as possible, and pets that need to be outdoor really need some additional heat support and a good shelter that protects them from the elements, including the wind and being dry from any snow or other precipitation.
Gateway Pet Guardians has also been providing assistance to pet owners that need it by providing crates and shelters with straw. If you'd like to help with donations or by fostering, we'll have links to both shelters' information on ksdk.com.
We have breaking news tonight out of Iowa. Former President Donald Trump has handily won the first in the nation presidential caucus. He has a 30-point lead over Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. They are battling for second place. Former President Trump collected the majority of delegates and won the most votes in almost every county.
Our political editor Mark Maxwell traveled to Southeast Iowa tonight. He joins us live from the Lee County caucus site in Keokuk. Mark.
Kelly and Mike, good evening. Donald Trump dominated Iowa tonight. At last report, he won support from more than half of all Republican voters who showed up to a caucus event. And in this corner of Southeast Iowa, at this high school in Keokuk, he won an even larger share from that. Just reading the room, you could tell that most of the Republicans who showed up here tonight had already made up their mind before they walked in the door.
God bless America and God bless Donald Trump.
Lee County Republican Caucus co-chair Sandra Johnson rallied hundreds of voters to back Donald Trump's bid to do what only one other president has done in history: return to the White House after losing it.
I believe he was anointed by God in 2016, and when I worked that election, I like to call him a flawed vessel, which he definitely is, a very flawed vessel.
Other Iowa Republicans feared what 4 more years under Trump might bring.
Of more turmoil, self-indulgence, and divisiveness.
This woman urging voters to back Ron DeSantis.
He is not facing 91 felony charges. In 2 years, Ron will be 48 years old, not 80 years old.
Trump's critics cited his baggage and Joe Biden's age as weaknesses in a general election.
We are so done with geezers.
This younger voter took the mic for Nikki Haley, arguing she could unite a divided country.
I'm sure I have a lot of disagreements with a lot of people in this room politically. I think that's okay. I think that's kind of what makes America great, right? Is we talk through our issues, we figure it out.
But when the ballots were counted, none of the challengers could knock Trump from his perch as the front runner. Most of the Republicans here did what they came to do.
Vote for Trump.
Why is that?
He's just the guy. I mean, our gas prices was low. The border is a big thing with me.
The final count is still being tallied across the state. Many counties still gathering ballots. If the results hold steady, it appears that Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley will split the remaining delegates heading to the Republican National Convention, finishing second and third place respectively. We'll wait to see the final results there. You may hear a lot of complaining already from the DeSantis camp, even using the phrase election interference to describe early news reports about the results. Some of those reports were results were reported before people here even got their ballot, but it's unclear if it made any difference in the outcome. Reporting in a chilly Keokuk, Iowa on this night, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
A day of remembrance and celebration as the region paid tribute to the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. There were many celebrations today to honor the civil rights leader, including a special service at St. Louis City Hall. Community leaders, members of the clergy, and the public were there to celebrate Dr. King's birthday. Dr. King was the driving force behind the civil rights movement. This year's theme was keeping the dream alive for the next generation.
St. Louis will win again, and we will honor Dr. King's ultimate dream, a society where everyone can succeed, reversing decades of historic wrongs and ensuring that every family has the opportunity to do more than just survive, but every family has the opportunity to thrive.
Typically, the celebration is held outside, but because of the dangerously cold weather, it was indoors, followed by a motorcade, which ended in a wreath-laying ceremony at Harris-Stowe State University. Metrolink mayhem. New details tonight on what led to a shooting and stabbing on the same train. Buy now, pay later. It's a shopping convenience that comes at a cost. Tonight, we're helping you keep your credit in check.
One more brutal morning of wind chills before we get a brief break midweek, when the next Arctic push comes our way and how long it lasts. We'll see you in 6 minutes.